why do so many speakers actually assume right now that applause means success, when in reality, you're aware that it actually doesn't?
Yeah, it's weird because I come across people that they're so happy, like I got a standing ovation, I got like 1,000 people round of applause. But what's the action that came out of that? And they kind of look at me like, oh, they didn't think that far ahead. And I think a lot of speakers come from, and I lump corporate speaking into the world of when you do a lot of speaking but you're not saying anything. And I think a lot of us have seen speakers, maybe we're even guilty ourselves of doing that. And that comes from a transactional model of speaking. In the TED world that I live in, it's more about transformational speaking. And there's a big difference where transactional is more about sharing information. You're just communicating information. And a lot of times corporate executives mix it up because sometimes there is value to just share information.
Yeah.
But they think that they're in the transformational space where the audience will be transformed or their boss or the CEO will be transformed by the idea and persuaded by it to take action. Completely different approaches. And you have to understand that there's a difference, and you have to understand of how to live in the transformational world and what you're doing in the transactional world. And that's why I think most of the speakers I work with struggle because they're stuck in the transactional world and they're not even seeing that they think that it's, well, if I'm a better storyteller, that's all I need to do. Well, that's part of it, but you have to be in the mindset of being in a transformational mindset. You're transforming somebody through an idea versus just sharing that idea. That's the
Okay.
difference.
That actually does make a lot of sense. I'm actually wondering what it's like. Can you actually describe for them, because I know you don't have this, what it's like for them to feel step off stage and just get like a polite applause, but no follow-ups, no real conversation, not like nobody's coming up to them after the actual the speech itself or after the event and asking them anything. What's that? What do you reckon that feels like for people?
I'd say pretty terrible. I mean, if that's how you feel, and then that's your job, uh, that's just unfortunate. That's the classic. Oh God, not I got to go to work again today. I got to do the same talk again. And while you're talking, you know that people. The worst thing is if you have to do the same talk multiple times, knowing that you got that reaction, it's a death spiral because now that you know people don't care, they're not paying attention. So the next time you're getting up on stage, people are taking their phones out already. Here we go. It's terrible. But I would argue that if that's happening to you right now, even with your existing content, just simply asking yourself why. And if you can get past the first why are you sharing this information? And if you get to the fifth or sixth or seventh level and search for that deeper truth, you're going to find out that you're going to get excited again about that idea. And then when you get that excited and you share that in the right way, your audience will get excited. And that's when you start making that shift. And the audience actually will be paying attention and you will get that swarm effect.